Halloween. Probably for the final time in this promotion, as we approach the end of what is likely the last year of the series. This month's matches will be sequenced in accordance with the implications from last month. So we begin with the re-invasion by Japan, which didn't go so well. Just one win from 4 matches. Big Titan, with his resounding win over Strongheart, is back on the winning track. Wolf Hockfield, Canada's heavyweight champion, assumes the title rematch is coming and freely offers it, saying, "Hey, look, I realize you made this championship what it is today, and so I'll do you the honor of not making you ask for it." Titan replies, "You know what? I think I'm good for now. In fact, I might just try doing what you did after losing the title. Go on to dominate the 6-tag. It's a title I've never won for completion purposes, so I've had every Heavy Canada championship. I think I'll try that." So you don't want this belt back? I find that hard to believe. Not yet, anyway. Hey, forget about me. You defend that title with Canadian pride. And don't make me look like a chump for dropping it to you, all right? Look, I gotta go. See if I can find some tag partners. So, the wolf stands in pondering silence for a while, alone, or so he thinks, until he hears a new voice. "I'll take the title shot." Wolf's first championship defense against the man who took the title from him back in year 1. The Canadian sensation. And to support their 6-tag title teammate, Sharpshooter Syndicate members Hitman and Blue Hair will be at ringside front row to see if the sensation can hoist the top title in this promotion for the second time. So the one success Team Japan did have was the Trick Prince himself. And he's looking to follow up on that momentum. Big Mike proved ill-advised for him to compete with suspect health, for not only did he lose fairly decisively, but now poor condition. So out, and with losing streak continuing, perhaps an uncertain future for Mike here in the Canada Wrestling promotion. We've seen others fade into obscurity upon stringing together many losses. So the Trick Prince, having exploited Big Mike's neck ailment, now demands Jin Dynasty go straight to a 6-tag title shot. And the members of which are determined by out is Strongheart. Third time not the charm versus Big Titan. Strongheart got knocked out. Needs recovery. So by the process of elimination, a 3-man team put forth by Jin Dynasty. The Trick Prince, Black Dragon God, and Deathblow Ken. So they want the 6-tag title shot, but since the Canadian sensation is to compete in singles action, the 6-tag defense is not available. And even if it was available, problem we have here is all 3 of these guys have D trust. All 3. What I can do? Like this. All 3 of these guys have D trust. Having been inactive for various reasons, so I couldn't trust them with title belts in case they walk out, as was the fear with Vampiro earlier. So the Trick Prince is trick pissed, but not well positioned to make demands. What I do offer him, though, is to face a 3-man team that also hopes to eventually challenge for the 6-tag. Big Titan, as we mentioned, looking for teammates. Found them in KO Kevin Owens and the Rated R superstar Edge. In the most recent edition of Team Canada Black. So they'll go in a 6-tag contender match, and we can see what develops from that. No guarantees, however, on the future for reasons already mentioned. Also, Ace. Midnight Knight, having defended his championship against Deathblow Ken, now Ace Matt Gibson comes out of the woodwork next on the grounds that he shares a name with the title, the Ace Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, wise man Ted Axel, again bent out of shape over not getting the Ace title shot. How the $50,000 man will appear is as follows. Owing to Lionheart being out, neck trauma from last event's Elimination 8-man, amidst Blue Hair's triple elimination, answer to previous episode's question of who gets the next two-man tag title shot is Sharp family. Iron Mike, Mike Jr., father and son. Now, although they're biting off a great deal to chew, trying to tackle a bear, this will be for Canada's tag, which is the Sharp goal as Canadians. Whereas going after DFW would be less satisfying from a national pride standpoint. So, who does challenge for the DFW version of Tag Championship versus Team Satan? We'll have the $90,000 rematch. Blue Blazer, Ted Axel, $90,000 team. We'll take another crack at Team Satan. So still in the tag team vein, so the fallout from last episode concerning Team Gold and Black. Shota angrily confronts Christian. How could you just hand over our title belts like that? At least you still have the junior single. But the one championship I had? Gone because of what? Backroom politics? This sucks, dude. Consider the friendship over. Christian replies, bro, look, Mexico Miguel hasn't won a real match in forever. His confidence is in the basement. We'll issue a rematch and take the title back. Easy, we got this. Shota. Nah, we ain't got Jack. Find yourself a new partner for that. Once I settle the score with Omega, I'll be coming for a different title. Your junior single. So don't get too comfy with that strap around your waist, because it's coming off soon. So, when you consider even Christian benefited from the Miguel bargain. In exchange for dropping the tag in September, Christian was given a guaranteed title defense win in August against Owen, as well as whatever political favor he gained with Derek Bogart for doing business. So every junior benefited except Shota. What does this mean? Does anyone, including yours truly CEO, want a super angry, irredeemable walking around this promotion? Stay tuned as the story continues next episode. But for now, Christian did find himself a new tag partner. Who's that? Matt Angel, joining forces with Christian to form Team Canada Junior Blue. Sure, let's go with that. So my understanding is Matt Angel, real life, is actually from Quebec, Canada. So, haven't heard him speak. I'm going to suppose he's French, but let's take a look at the profile. If we go down the middle column there, down to the signature moves, the one that jumps out at me is Moonsault Neckbreaker Drop. Moonsault Neckbreaker Drop. That's a mouthful. I think I know what that is. I think both men are standing atop the turnbuckle, and the executor of the move has got his back toward the ring, and you clasp the guy, and either you fall down or you backflip, or I guess for moonsault you backflip with the guy. It's spectacular and dangerous looking, so look forward to that. Run up cutter. He looks like he has some sort of diamond cutter type move, perhaps. So down the right column there, salary $546. So he comes cheap. I guess he's not the hugest name, so doesn't command a massive salary. So more than happy to add him to the roster at such a cheap cost. And he brings a popularity of C, so he's not at the bottom for popularity. He can contribute to fans and seats. Just above that, match style, Kings Road. We've talked about that more than once. It's probably my favorite style, if I'm honest. And Trust D, that's pretty standard. Guys seem to always come into the organization kind of feeling like they'll see how it goes if they want to stay. So, that's Matt Angel's debut. He's going to go for the tag titles. So we'll kind of transition blue to blue here as we go to the main event. It's already been mentioned in Shota's angry rant about getting screwed. This will be the third match between these guys. If you recall, in the second try, Shota did a lot better. So grounds for third. So that's the main event. Not that it needs to be the main event. Just the flow of the intro just led us here. But why not? It's a grudge match. There's been blood involved. Might be a fun way to close the show. And just as well that we close it with this match. Because in case Shota is so irredeemably angry that he kills Omega, easy enough to cut the broadcast feed and say, well, that's it for tonight, folks. Enjoy the rest of your evening and try to forget you just witnessed a fatality. So, them's are the matches. Oh, and one more thing. Okay. You may have noticed, not mentioned in the rundown. The Baron Charles is idle, with no obvious new challenger for his title. He's playing the waiting game. Now, if that disappoints you, be sure to stick around for the end of the show, for I'm told the Baron will make a special announcement concerning his non-participation this event. So, if you're among the baronial faithful, and I understand there's many of you, you'll want to hear that. Quick look at the venue on the right there. Top right is the main thing. Audience forecasts were again expecting over 29,000 attendees in a capacity of 30,000, so near sellout. Just the way we like it. Cool. Merchandise. Photo. A very demonic 666 remains in stock. At least that's part of the figure anyway. Fitting for Halloween 666. And towels, our other product line, sold out. So we will produce 10,000 more of that hot seller. So expense currently at 346 at the top, so we'll spend roughly 10% again to produce a new line of towels. Remember last time I produced merch, I didn't leave that screen up very long. Maybe you like the picture, it's very cool. All the different products one might have. Very cool. So that's it. Breaking tradition here, we're not viewing title belts. There's no one particular thing that jumps out at me as why we should look at it. So we don't have to look at it every time. There's not always massive implications. Let's get to the matches. Proceed. Halloween of year 4. Match 1. Starting off as big as we can. For Canada's Heavyweight Championship. And I think I will don my cooler belt here as a Halloween headband. Just for theme. As we see the man who defeated Wolf Hockfield for this championship, which would have been, so I refer to the old record book, in September of year 1. So what month is that? That should be episode 9, I guess. If you want to go back and revisit that history. First title defense for his second run as Canada's heavyweight champion. Starting off with power. Strength anyway, that vertical suplex. And then perhaps ill-advised on the part of the sensation. But he slides down under there between the legs, that agility on display. Dragon screw leg whip. Wolf back to the power. So we've already seen what the strengths of these two guys are. Wolf the stronger. Sensation, the more agile. Who can impose their game plan? Can the sensation cause history to repeat itself by taking the title off the Wolf after, well, vertical suplex out of the ring by the champion? Or can the Wolf get a type of redemption? Ill-advisedly, perhaps a sensation trying to overpower stronger Wolf. Vertical suplex out of the ring on the reversal. Arm drag takedown. That's a little more what the sensation should be doing. Try to take the big man off his feet, imbalance him. Abdominal stretch for the wear down. Like I say, redemption perhaps for the Wolf, because he's had 3 years to think about dropping the title to the sensation. Just like Big Titan had 3 years to think about how he lost at the final of the original tournament to the Wolf. So Wolf Hockfield barking at the moon just now after sending the sensation out of the ring. Neck breaker, however. And then attacking the foundation with the knee. Probably another good idea. Yeah, going after the foundation. We've seen that several times now. Weaken the foundation of the bigger man. Sensational. Sleeper hold. Early cover inside of 5 minutes. Wouldn't suppose.
5 minutes gone.
The Wolf tries to land that big high kick. Eats another neck breaker for his trouble. Sensational strength there, emerging from the corner with the body slam on the bigger man. Test of striking. Battle of chops. And the Canadian sensation applies the sharpshooter in honor of his stable. Sharpshooter Syndicate. Swinging neckbreaker. And the Wolf runs up to the top of the turnbuckle with the flying back elbow twice. And you know, agility might be the sensation's forte, but the Wolf has always demonstrated significant agility of his own, especially for a big man. Can use that size as a weapon, no doubt. Now he's starting to put power moves together. 2.9 on the sit-down powerbomb. Oh, there's that high kick. Lands it perfectly just at the end of the range. Running drop kick to the dazed sensation. Back to the neck breaker, though. We've seen the sensation use that move several times now. It's clearly a game plan. Headbutt to set up the Superfly. Oh, but no. Maybe it was a bit early. Maybe he just had too far to fly. But misses, and now he's launched. German suplex. Across the ring. And go up to the top. Onto the turnbuckle. Superplex. Sensational superplex. The Wolf gets to his feet maybe too soon, though, because he wasn't quite recovered. Body slam says he's going down. Will the champion make good on that pledge? If he doesn't, he will drop the title. Unless he can work some sort of draw out. Running, drop kick again. Pop up. Diamond cutter. Devastation to go for the pin right across the lit. Part of the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. 2.9. Was that the second time for the champion? So the challenger's a bit behind now, perhaps, as he hits the chop block. Maybe he played some football in high school or college or something. Tombstone pile driver. And then works that into the sharpshooter as a combination. Pretty awesome idea. Stun the guy by dropping him on his head, and while he's too dazed to know what's going on. Get the sharpshooter going. Torture Valley driver. Pretty sensational. I believe I've seen Wolf Hockfield use that move. Oh. Just demonstrating dominant strength. It's worth a 3 count too. Pillar to post, so to speak, the Wolf. With a running power slam. Plus, I have to go back and take another look at that. That was pretty awesome. Turnbuckle Stampede. Rams the challenger into the turnbuckle before executing the running power slam. Pretty awesome. Redemption gained for Wolf Hockfield from 3 years ago when he had dropped this championship to the Sensation. He wins the title rematch with authority, looking very impressive. A spectacular finish to retain Canada's heavyweight championship. Match 2, 6-tag contenders. Introducing first, latest version of Team Canada Black. Edge, KO, and the captain, Big Titan. Edge and KO have each been 6-tag champions. Recently, Big Titan, not so far. It's the one title that he still needs to have if he wants to be a Triple Crown heavyweight champion. Here in the CWP. He's never really pursued it seriously. And to make the case for a title shot would have to come at the expense of a team that's had success at this level. This combination has been 6-tag champions. Trick Prince has captained 2 lineups of Jin Dynasty to 6-tag gold. Titan Trip to get us started. The Trick Prince working for that takedown. If at first he did succeed, he tried again. Or at least he tried again. If he tried 2 more times, it would be tried again. Anyway. Titan Slam across the Litcola main sponsor logo. And then the Trick Prince enters the Titan's domain, which we've seen that fail a number of times when people seek to overpower Big Titan. Doesn't work out too well. Body slam out of the ring.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The Trick Prince is now making the Titan pay for pursuing out into the alley.
7, 8, 9,
Oh boy.
11, 12.
Try not to kill somebody out there. Well, that went poorly for the Titan, and he seeks a lane with which to escape the ring. Tags off to KO, and the Trick Prince is riding this momentum right now, handling 2 members of Team Canada Black. Body slams the big man. Applies that arm trap choke. So the Trick Prince means business here so far. Doing pretty well against two members of the opposition. Varied leg strikes there. Impressive as the Trick Prince in this first several minutes. Tags out to death blow. And then it's Edge's turn. Low blow there by KO, looking to change the complexion of things after a pretty good start for Jin Dynasty. Low kick landed, but Edge replies with the headlock hip toss takeover. But then death blow returns it in kind. Body slam. Boot to the back. We'll exchange strikes now. Ultimately won by Edge.
5 minutes gone.
He applies the sharpshooter. I believe I just recently added Edge to the sharpshooter stable, having teamed with sharpshooter in that 8-man elimination from last event. Sorry. Had a bit of a smudge on my screen. I might have missed some action. What was that? A assisted back suplex or something? It was like a 2-man. I missed whatever it was. It looked like the KO had contemplated a tag there. Or maybe he's trying to draw Black Dragon God into his side of the ring, his corner. It might be advanced. Oh, blood has been drawn. Probably a good time to tag out then. On the biting by Black Dragon God, KO is now bleeding. Exchange of striking. Edge goes for the drop kick. Nobody there, however. So an arm trap, rear choke with the leg scissors applied to hold his man in place. Ankle pick. Sophisticated. Mixed martial arts on display by the Black Dragon God. We got 4 men in the ring right now. Knee strikes. The Trick Prince brazenly mounting the turnbuckle of Team Canada Black. However, the Titan is up. The Trick Prince aborts whatever that strategy had been. Leg hook brainbuster though. Big body slam.
10 minutes gone.
Oh! The Trick Prince tried to take advantage of the tag occurring there to try to hit somebody with a green mist. A green mist spray. Looked like his opponents were just on the outside of it. Now KO finding himself face down, bleeding into the mat there. While the Black Dragon God circles around him like a shark waiting to go on a feeding frenzy, drawn to the blood. test of striking ultimately won by the man who's probably more schooled in actual striking. Black Dragon God. Assisted power bomb though. Low blow. Add insult to injury. And injury to injury, I'm sure. That must have hurt. Sharpshooter applied. Sharpshooter submission attempt. Escaped. So Edge punctuating his addition into Sharpshooter Syndicate by doing a couple of homages there. Here's that kick barrage. Different heights. Looked like Jin Dynasty, the Trick Prince was going for some sort of slingshot from the apron. For a moment there, he looked like he had become a tag partner of the opposition. He was standing where Edge is now. Weird. Oh. Vicious knee strike to the head of KO, who leaves a pool of blood there after he was struck. I was about to say maybe this match should be stopped on account of blood for KO, but he wouldn't have any of that. He went over and hit a guy, save one of his partners. Tags out to the Titan. Eats a body slam for his trouble. Trick Prince is celebrating. He's feeling pretty good. He likes Jin Dynasty's chances. A modified tombstone piledriver type maneuver. Wow, flying with the diamond cutter. Moonsault. Pinning combination, but well on the side of Team Ken the Black. Save made. 6 men in the ring. Big Titan takes advantage of the stunned Trick Prince to land the dropkick. Prince will escape. Titan goes out and pursue. Finds himself confronted by 2 members of Jin Dynasty and comes up short. Grinding. Submission attempts in stereo there. In tandem by Team MMA Japan. Wild action there. 4 men going at it. Big Titan makes the save. In the ropes anyway. Takedown, but it was countered into a pin combination in the ropes, however. So submission attempt would well onto the black side of the ring. Save made easily enough. Now Edge runs afoul of the 2 members of Team MMA Japan, and he finds himself getting victimized by the 2-on-1. Oh, beat down, ball strike. And yeah, we have a submission. Good combination wrestling by Deathblow. We saw the vicious striking and then the submission attempt to follow up. And we have a give up. And what do we have? Inconclusiveness now? In terms of... In terms of the contendership for the 6-tag title. Like I said, Jin Dynasty has a trust rating of D, which makes it hard to give them a title shot, because if someone walks out, that ruins that championship. So even though they won this match and you could argue they deserve a title shot, for, you know, political reasons, for behind the scenes, you know, roster reasons, contract reasons, whatever you want to call it, hard to give them a shot. Whereas if Big Titan and his Team Canada Black had won this, it could be easily enough to make the case, okay, now they're going for the title shot. But how do you give them a title shot after the loss? So I don't know if either of these teams gets a shot now. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. The Sharpshooter Syndicate 6 tag champions are idle this month. I guess we'll just see what seems to make sense for next month. Match 3. Ace goes for the ace. As Matt Gibson returns, originally from Dramatic Fight Wrestling. He eventually joined this promotion. Longtime DFW heavyweight champion and DFW tag champion. He owned that division. He owned that promotion. And while his fortunes have not been great here since those glory days, and he even stepped away from wrestling, worrying about the health risks. He's seen other wrestlers have fallen prey to misfortune. He's been inspired to come back to face this man. Midnight Night, who hoisted the Ace Heavyweight Championship, and then has since defended it. This is title defense attempt number 2. Arm drag takedown. So both of the Knight's title defenses have come against challengers who've had time off. Now, whether that equates to rust or rest, it's like an age-old question in sports in general. When you've had time off, and yeah, you've had a chance for your body to recover. But if you're out of the swing of it, not in the habits, how do you all of a sudden get in there and expect to compete at a high level? So short clothesline by the Midnight Night body slam. So we'll see. We'll see how Gibson can fare. One-man gang slam. Again, that forward face slam, one-man gang style. And at times, Warren Watson has looked like a one-man gang. We've seen him at times look very effective in tag action, handling more than one guy as though he's a gang in and of himself. Sometimes fighting off 2 guys at once, dominating. Power slam. Just 1 count, however. Power slam off the Irish whip. Matt Gibson looks like he could be Irish with all that green. And the ace going to work. Boots in the turnbuckle, elbow drop. I want to say a slap fight, but I guess it was more of a chop fight. Slap fight sounds funnier. I mean, reverse slaps, right? Kind of? I don't know. Oh, surprise there. Small package. That's the 3rd 1 count the champion has gained with pin attempts. Maybe he should just concentrate on doing some moves and not trying for this early pinfall. Maybe he figures if the ace is this out of action, out of the habit, might exploit him by getting an early finish. Tornado clothesline. Clothesline again on the retaliation. Tornado clothesline of his own, the Ace. Ace looking pretty good, I think, overall for a guy who hasn't been wrestling. Then he eats the vertical suplex and goes tumbling out of the ring. The champion goes out in pursuit.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh,
7, 8,
some sort of shoulder drop, diamond cutter. But he eats a DDT in reply out there near the ring announcers. Get a pretty good view.
15,
Another one of those diamond cutters off the shoulder drape.
18,
18.
19,
Oh, at the 19 count, Gibson looked like he might have failed to answer the call there. He was wavering near count out. But he's back, body slam, mounts the turnbuckle again. We've seen that top rope elbow more than once. High flying. From what is a pretty tall guy, actually. He's not a junior or anything. Oh, there's that rotating power bomb we've seen mostly earlier in the history of this promotion by
1,
Big Mike used effectively.
3,
2.9 count we got on that. The Ace is out of the ring again. Double arm, suplex into a pinning combination. And we've seen 2.9s apiece as we're in minute number 9 on the match clock. Some sort of dragon suplex. Body slam in reply by the champion. So 2.9s apiece. Absolutely anyone's match right now. Rotation on the Brainbuster.
10 minutes gone.
Some manner of flying body attack from the turnbuckle. But now we're going to see a Phoenix Plex. We might be in the ropes, however. So possibly opportunity there to get the finish foiled by improper ring placement by the champion. Unprettier. Perhaps Warren Watson a bit threatened by Matt Gibson's whatever degree of handsomeness he brings to the ring. I'd say he's above average handsome. Perhaps the Knight decides he wants to be the only handsome man in this ring, so he tries to damage the looks. And posing for the crowd, by the way, maybe that's what he needs to put his confidence over the top here in this clutch situation, is to demonstrate a bit of arrogance. Well, we might have seen another Elgin bomb attempt there. But the Knight, in a rather wily fashion, gets the counter in a pin attempt. And the double arm suplex into a pinning combination. This time it does work. The impact of the suplex going straight into the pin without a chance to recover, that proved to be good enough to edge out. For the champion to edge out a very game challenger. The returning ace, Matt Gibson. Looking good. Got a 2.9 count. Came within a hair of hoisting a heavyweight championship that he shares the name with, the Ace. And it really would have been a nice feather in the cap for Gibson, because he has not actually won a championship match since coming here to the Canada Wrestling promotion. That would have been his first. The only time he's been in title match, like he's brought a couple titles over here and lost them. But he's never actually won a title. But with a 2.9 count and 100% match evaluation, I think there might be a case to do the rematch, as the Midnight Knight would need a challenger anyway, so I could very well do this again. But for now, Midnight Knight, yeah, still your ace heavyweight champion. Match 4 for Canada's Tag Team Championship. First time challenged for by Sharp Family. Father and son, Mike Jr. precedes Iron Mike, Canada's greatest athlete. This would be pretty special for these guys if they could be father and son tag team champions. But, as always, it is a lot to ask. Because look at who they must face. The most dominant tag team in the history of the Canada Wrestling promotion. Jason and the Bear. Team Terrible. Well, some wily veteran move there by Iron Mike to avoid that takedown. Can't win the test of strength, though. Probably a bad idea to engage in that. And the Bear gets the roll up that time. Notice, we've seen that from Terrible Ted. He's always looking to try to set a record. Try to get like a pinfall in the first 10, 20, 30 seconds. I mean, maybe he's a little hungry. Maybe he just wants to get onto a nice big platter of honey-colored salmon and just wants to just get out of here. Father rescues son there as Mike Jr. gets in there. And there you go. The father-son working together. Combined efforts, they get the upper hand on the Bear. Is that a good sign? Could they actually win this championship? It's the first time teaming up. They've been allowed to go straight to the top of the division. But I don't mind doing that, because you never know how much time Iron Mike has. He's an older gentleman. Who knows, maybe this is all that's keeping him hanging in here right now with this wrestling business, is a chance to win it with his son, a chance to have some success. Now he's being worked over by his son, being worked over by Team Terrible. Falling headbutt hockey mask. The rather discombobulated, I assume, Mike Jr. tags out. And then father and son team up on the vertical suplex out of the ring. And they go out in pursuit. I mean, these are the type of things they'll have to do. If they want to have a shot here, they're going to have to take advantage of these 2-on-1 opportunities.
10, 11, 12,
Jason the Terrible just fearlessly brawling
14, 15,
both members of this team.
16.
Was that a team-up vertical suplex he ate? We get another near count out. We had that last match too. Would have been a pretty big disappointment for Sharp Family. They had to walk away from here with an unsuccessful bid to be champion on account of an unnecessary premature finish because they couldn't get back in the ring. Or didn't. Speaking of out of the ring, Jason, before he departs to the apron, casts Canada's greatest athlete back outside. But the bear didn't pursue. He just decided to hang out and just do bear stuff in the ring. There's the guillotine choke. Son on the apron, confident his father's not done yet. Does him the respect of letting him escape on his own, but you wouldn't want to be trapped in that bear choke for very long. And you could die. It's not a joke. This is different level strength we're dealing with. And we've seen that headlock, that cranking headlock applied by Mike Jr. more than once. Now he'll have to feel the bear strength in the form of the neck crank. And to their credit, the Sharp family members, they didn't go down easy. They both withstood the bear's power and lived to fight on. But that's only like survival's only the first part. I mean, can you actually defeat Team Terrible? And Ted, the wrestling bear, is just playing with his food right now. Just rolling the guy around. And the bear is menacing and can be all business, of course, but as we've seen, he doesn't mind having a bit of fun in there. He's a fun-loving bear. That could freaking kill you. And rather than face two guys needlessly, the bear smartly gets his animal handler in there, even the numbers. Clubs a man down before turning it over to Jason, who applies a chin lock. Working that hockey mask. Turning armor into weapon there with the headbutts. The headbutt series. Back body drop off the Irish whip. Iron Mike going old school. Drop kick. Jumping headbutt. Oh, boy. And then down low combination. Hockey mask brutality. Goes for a pin center of the ring, just the 2 count. As we see, an Iron Mike bear hug over the lightning bolt of the Lit Cola main sponsor logo, running shoulder tackle. All right, both men breathing heavy. Good sign for Sharp family that they are in fact in this match. They'll team up, father and son. Vertical suplex. Now they'll try their hand at the bear. Look at that. Mike Jr. applies the bear hug onto the bear. Oof. Some sort of belly-to-belly bear slam. Running shoulder attempt by Mike Jr. The bear, too big though. Shrugs that off. Leg trip, goes for the pin. Deep in the challenger corner, that was not going to work. And now he's getting worked over with elbows from both members. Sharp family. Standing guillotine. Father wastes no time coming in to save the son. Guess he's seen enough of the bear now to know. We're definitely in that range where the finish can come any time. Some collision there off the Irish whip. Can Sharp family take advantage of this kind of confusion? 2-on-1. But the bear boots his way free, of course, with the figurative boots. And yeah, I think perhaps the son saw the writing on the wall there that his dear old dad was not going to escape that. Late in the match, maybe he just saw Iron Mike limp on the mat like that. I mean, Sharp family, they put up a good fight. I mean, they were in there. They didn't just lay down. They showed some resilience. But, of course, the question being, how do you mount sufficient offense to actually overcome Team Terrible? That's the age-old question in this promotion. So, I don't know. You might make the case to do this again. in that, Sharp family lasted well over 13 minutes. They seemed to be in it. It was interesting. But did they put up a convincing enough fight to warrant a rematch? I don't know. I'll have to see if someone else, another team, can make a case here. Can seem to be a stronger contender. We'll see. Like with other title consideration, we'll have to just wait and see what next month presents. Still, to the surprise of none, Canada's tag team champions, Team Terrible. The second attempt by the $90,000 team to become Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Ted Axel, the $50,000 man, and the Blue Blazer, who signed with this promotion for a $40,000 signing bonus. Can the Blazer blaze a trail to having his name in the record book, in the title history? They'd have to overcome Team Satan, the foot soldier, the general, who staved off the $90,000 challenge last month. Can they do so again and hold on to these belts? Some early maneuvering there, strategizing. Ultimately, the general comes out on top in that initial feeling out process, that exchange. He is a strategic genius after all. And now some more good tactics, perhaps effective tactics at least, not morally good, but attacking the vision of the Blue Blazer. Although the Blazer has some protection for the eyes there with that mask. But maybe that was why he got bowled over there. Maybe his vision still isn't quite recovered from that eye attack. He just got ran down. Early submission hold attempt. There's that superhero strength in action. Arm drag takedown. So we're wrestling in the blue corner right now. It looked like the Blazer might have gone for the tag there. The general cut it off, but ate an arm drag takedown for his trouble. And the Blazer figures, well, I got the upper hand, I might as well carry on with this. And both men decide it's time to tag out. All four men briefly in the ring. Ted Axel attempted a drop kick there, maybe too early to try that on a fresh man who's just in the ring. Attacks the arm, however. Try to wear down that strong arm of the foot soldier. Maybe take away some of his power. Test of striking won, however, by Stewart. Now the test of strength, the awesome power. The musculature of the foot soldier. Body slam, barely contained inside the ring. Stewart drags him closer toward the middle, but then drop down into an arm trap submission. Yeah, and how about the strength of the wise man there? Gets the big man up and over out of the ring with the vertical suplex, but Stewart, as though he had something to reiterate there, poses down. Oh, sorry. You never know when I might be recording all of a sudden. Some of my office staff there checking in with the CEO, make sure everything's running smoothly. Answer's yes, and there's a smooth double drop kick carried out by Team Satan. Blue blazing body slam, and now he's being trapped and bullied in the turnbuckle. Escapes though. Does the Blazer arm drag takedown. Fast, exciting action. Been a spirited affair so far. Feel like we got 4 solid competitors in there battling for a championship. We did suggest some uncertainty surrounding Team Terrible and who they'll defend Canada's tag against. Maybe it might be one of these teams. I don't know, should the loser of this match fail upward and take on an even greater challenge? Maybe the winner should say we want both titles. See if they can unify the tag belts. Take these championships and go on to face Team Terrible and say, we want all the tag gold. That's something to think about. Don't love having double champions though, because you can only defend one title per night, per event. Awesome power with the press slam. Arm drag takedown into the giant swing. Sleeper hold submission attempt off the Irish whip, but we're on under 10 minutes. Wouldn't expect a submission this early unless maybe Terrible Ted was involved. Double drop kick again, the champs putting on some pretty good tag team wrestling in a couple spots here. $50,000 escape from that predicament, however. And that one too. Slippery is Ted Axel right now, but then no dodging that, a low blow as Satan's General goes back to the underhanded tactics. Body slam, tornado clothesline, knee to the K-Roch. The General looking exceptional right now. And then gets out of the way of the flying kick. And finally, a superhero suplex breaks up that momentum from Satan's General. Doesn't allow the $90,000 team to follow up, though wisely tags out. But the $90,000 team very much in pursuit, but now it's 2-on-1. 2-on-1 against Ted. Ultimately goes poorly for him, and now he's getting battered in the champion's corner. Giant swing. Does not give up, gets tossed onto the lightning bolt. Lit Cola main sponsor logo, maybe a second time. Oh, flung into the turnbuckle area. Just getting ragdolled. Now the body slam. Will Stewart looking very powerful. Rodeo arm breaker though. Into the regal stretch. Wise man trying to get some momentum going for the blue team right now. Back to the sleeper hold, trying to wear down. More of that press slam power. And the low blow following up. Well, they're each playing to their individual strengths right now. The power and the dirty tactics. Looking for a pretty good blend. They've been successful as a tag team. Over a significant period of time. So the Blue Blazer thinks twice about flying off the turnbuckle there. Drop kick as the General's knocked back into the challenger part of town. Missing with the elbow, so maybe that's why the Blazer didn't follow through the first time. Maybe he sensed it was... What did he sense? It's not too early to try high flying. It didn't feel right the first time. He was right to trust that instinct because the second time failed. So some attempt at double teaming there. I guess Will Stewart saw it coming, that there could be a barrage being two men coming at him at once, and he thought, discretion the better part of valor. He escaped that predicament. Drop kick down low. Take the big man off his feet. To stop him from utilizing that power. Some miscommunication there. The General went off the top rope, but the victim was not there anymore. But we did see the deadlift, German suplex by Foot Soldier. Another impressive show of strength by Stewart. Counter into the arm submission. Ted Axel very much under the ropes, but the ref maybe didn't see it from that angle. Probably should have called for a break. No matter, the match continues. Spine buster. Goes for a cover, but we're in the blue part of town. Blazers in there to make the easy save. Dragon screw leg whip. Olympic slam. Wild action, 4 men in the ring. A lot of trading partners. Dance partners, so to speak. Another word for opponents. Oh, the tombstone pile driver. No! Wise man able to reverse it, utilizing the superior agility. Wily is the wise man. We approach 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
As the ring announcer corroborates my statement. I guess we've reached the point now where it's kind of anyone's match. Low blow to set up the victory roll. We're tied up in the ropes, however. Over the top with the belly-to-belly suplex. Tag, try to utilize some 2-on-1 maybe here. It's never too late to team up. It is tag wrestling. Assisted powerbomb. Eye rake out of desperation to break up this blue momentum. We have the sit-down powerbomb, though. And we have new champions, Blue Blazers, in there to make the cover. Prevent Will Stewart from cutting him off. And we have a Canadian now with his first captaincy of a tag title. That man's name is the Blue Blazer. He's been a teammate for championship gold. This is his first time being the captain. So the Blue Blazer gets his name in the title history. Probably have to take a look at that. And there you have it. The $90,000 team. It took them a couple tries. This might have been I don't know if this is their third foray, possibly, as a tag team. Might be 3, might be more, but maybe this was third time the charm for them if this is their third team up. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back in the history. But the Tiger Driver, that sit-down powerbomb into the pinning combination. Wise man Ted Axel, how about it? I guess the accumulated frustration over being denied the ace heavyweight title shot. He decided to focus that anger, channel that frustration productively. And he's now a tag team champion. Is that a first time for Ted Axel to be tag champion? I think so, because I think early frustrations in the beginning of his career trying to get it done with Pearl Harbor, not a very successful team. And he's tagged up. He tried Pearl Harbor version 2 with blue hair. Did not end up ascending any significant mountains. I think this is his first championship as a tag guy. He's been singles champ. He began as a tag guy. He's dabbled back in it here and there, and there you go. So 2 firsts there, I believe. First tag title of any kind for Ted Axel. First tag title as captain for Blue Blazer. Over 80% match evaluation on top of it. Hey, good for you guys. New Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The $90,000 team. Slight correction on the tag history of the $90,000 team, as I refer to my handy dandy record book. According to this, the match we just saw was actually the 4th appearance by the $90,000 team. In fact, at the beginning of this year, they challenged Team Terrible for Canada's Tag Team Championship. Presumably. I mean, Terrible is frequently the title holders. And so, not 3rd time's the charm that they win the DFW tag titles, but anyway, sticking with 4s. 4th appearance, year 4, all these 4 references. We're still in 4-man action as we move to Canada's junior tag title. Right. As we see another blue team with Canadian, at least one Canadian in it. This time, the 2-man Canadian team-up, Matt Angel, making his Canada Wrestling Promotion debut, teaming up with fellow blue-clad Christian, Canada's junior champion, looking to once again become a 2-belt holder, unify the 2 junior titles. Having freshly been acquired for the first time by Team Dark. Type B Big Man Complex. Mexico Miguel. Your junior tag team champions. I think I might have heard some booing there. I mean, I think the Canadian crowd would prefer the Canadians be champion. Seems like a reasonable thing to hope for. Home country boys. Eye rake by Mexico Miguel. I feel like I want to make some sort of comment about glass houses and throwing stones or something. Considering Miguel has protection for his eyes with the mask, maybe he shouldn't be going after people who don't have protection. It doesn't seem fair, does it? Anyway, DDT. We'll get our first look at Matt Angel. He's getting tossed around early. Getting a taste of the awesome strength of Big Man. Type B Owen Miller, who also shrugs off the high kick attempt, body slam again. So Angel getting a sense of what it's like in this highly competitive promotion. And he's getting beaten down, bullied around. Lands a kick, though, and an arm drag takedown, so he's finally getting some traction. Is the Angel. And now he's being bullied into the turnbuckle again. Clothesline missed some nimbleness, some agility there on display by the Angel to avoid some of the punishment. Now he's got both members of Team Dark to deal with. Weathers the storm pretty well, but now he's getting slammed. Backdrop slam. As we now see Mexico Miguel try his hand at the Angel. Slap, chop, slap, chop, slap. I was about to say, Angel really should think about getting tagged out. He's not used to these kind of waters. His first appearance in this environment. Probably should err on the side of caution. Christian's back in there. Only to be clubbed down and stomped. DDT, however, trying to wrest momentum. More club down. As the shorter man uses bigger man tactics against his opponent. I guess it's all about how you see yourself. He fights big, does Owen. We've learned that. Fighting big there too, holding his ground in the test of striking. And sits on the face, putting all that imaginary big man weight that he's carrying around in his mind. Who could possibly kick out of that? So some sort of spin around clothesline. It's a bit hard to discern the action there. Another one of those short clotheslines. But a sitting duck was the sitting man just now. It's Christian's in there to make the save against the vulnerable Type B, who decides enough of this 2-on-1 disadvantage. I'll turn it into a 2-on-1 advantage. Gets tagged in as Team Dark fellow Miguel. He's really enjoying sitting on the face of this Team Canada Junior Blue. Because he figures this is the strategy. I'm just going to try to frustrate them, offend them, irritate them, make them uncomfortable. So, team up on the jumping kicks there. And to be fair, you might say advantage champions, even though they came to these titles under, say, dubious circumstances. It was politics. Combination kicking by the Angel. Still, this team has more experience working together. Team Dark. The unprettier. He was going to follow it up with the jawbreaker before it was broken up by Owen. So Christian deliberately going after, trying to damage the good, well, they might be good looks. We have no idea what Miguel looks like under there.
10 minutes gone.
He is a masked man after all. I guess for Christian, though, no matter what your attractiveness level is in the face, I'm going to try and worsen it. Running splash. And Matt Angel deciding to not take any chances. Gets in there. Show of teamwork. The big body bash. Owen Miller throwing what weight around that he does have. Using more big man style moves. Yeah, if you're Team Dark, quite a bit to prove here. You want to show that you deserve these titles. Question mark around how they won it, if you've seen recent episodes. They want to show that they're worthy champions. And what better time to do that than to pick up a win against a new team, a new roster member in the form of Matt Angel. Perhaps this Team Canada Blue has some creases to work out, some wrinkles to iron through. Oh, reversal. Counter on that turnbuckle move attempt by Matt Angel. You land in a powerbomb pinning predicament, and hoping that the referee didn't see that, maybe, with Christian's back to the ref. Brass knuckle attempt by Mexico Miguel. Referee saw it though, issued the warning. So if you're Team Canada, you don't want to see a disqualification here because you can't win the titles off a DQ, customarily. So that's perhaps a champion's advantage here. Perhaps that's not the last time we'll see Miguel go to those brass knuckles. Either he gains an advantage for his team by using a weapon, or he risks a DQ and he'd probably take the DQ to keep the titles. Drop, toe hold, and then elbow drop onto the toe area. Good combination there. How's that for a combination? The power, backbreaker, body slam. There's that elevated DDT, that impaler DDT. I want to say Vlad the Impaler DDT because, of course, Christian has those roots in the Brood team where they seem to be vampires. Back suplex. So yeah, either Christian becomes double champion once again, or Team Dark shows that they deserve to hold on to these belts. High kick lands as Matt Angel punctuates that test of striking with the victory. Team Dark perhaps going to work on the double team here. And they will. Assisted powerbomb. Oh, how about this? Body slam. And then, how's that for a big man move? Using his weight, such as it is. Meanwhile, Miguel is flooring Christian with a series of strikes. He's wavering now. How about Team Dark? They take advantage of the debut of Matt Angel and the inexperience of this duo as a team. Team Dark adding some legitimacy to this title reign by having a win fair and square. They get a title defense into the record book. So validation for this duo as a team. Took a while. Finally got it. Good for you boys. Would have liked to seen the Canadians win the title, of course. We haven't had an all-Canadian junior tag champions because it's taken this long to have two Canadian juniors. But maybe next month or a subsequent month. We'll see. Actually, it might not be next month because didn't Shota threaten to come after Christian? Well, once again, we'll have to see. But still, for now, Junior Tag Team Champions, Team Dark. Main event. Grudge match. Blood feud, you might even say, because that's how it started. Go. The third match of this series was kicked off when this man, Omega, was bloodied up in a tag match, which included Shota as the opposition. It was Omega that demanded the singles match, kicked Shota's ass. Understandably heavy versus Junior, but Shota, being the small but feisty, fierce competitor that he is, he manned up, he nutted up, and he demanded a rematch with the bigger Omega. Lost again, but looked very good. He definitely pushed the heavyweight. And he believes he can do even better this time. Call it third time's the charm, call it trending upward. Shota believes he can get this done. He can accomplish the unlikely, defeat a heavyweight. And he's on the short end so far, but look at the strength. He's motivated. Most of the moves have gone to Omega in the early going. Shota gets off with one of his boxing strikes. Now a combination. Okay, this is what he's got to do. He's got to start landing. He's got to do what he does well. Holding and hitting now. Omega comes back with strikes of his own. Eye rake. You know, it looks like Shota was backing off there, trying to regain his vision off the eye rake. In that case, he avoided the turnbuckle attack, I guess, perhaps from his sense of hearing still functioning. He heard the footsteps and realized, I'm trapped, I'm in the turnbuckle, I better get out. Now it eats the super kick. And a knee to the face. Again, what is that, V-trigger, I think they call that for Omega? In any case. Well, there's that haymaker left hand. Getting off more with the striking. So we've seen the striking aspect of Shota. He needs to start incorporating the other elements, though. The dirty fighting. The surfing the bounds of the rules. Surfing the bounds of good taste. He needs to pull out all the stops. If he's going to pull this upset. So we've seen the striking, now we're seeing some submission tactics. And I don't know if it sounds like I'm rooting for Shota. I guess from the underdog perspective, it can be easy sometimes to root for the underdog. There's that double arm pile driver, I guess you'd call it. Shooting star 2.9. I think that's the combination he used to win the match previous time, didn't he? What happened last time? Wasn't it Shota finally bloodied Kenny again? And then before the Irredeemable could capitalize on it, follow up on it, Omega was able to sort of steal the momentum, get a quick finish, and put a stop to it. Knee strikes. Although give Shota credit, he's not going with some of those questionable tactics so far. He's been striking submission game. Haven't seen foreign objects, haven't seen fire breath. Maybe he figures I want to win and make sure there's none of those asterisks next to it. Yeah, you won, but there's some dirty tactics going down low, digging down low. But at least that's not involving anything that's foreign, such as sickles or some sort of chemical mixture in his mouth that he can use to shoot flames out. Any unarmed man can low blow another. So give Shota credit. He's irredeemable, but he's choosing an honorable route here. Maybe the goodness of Christian is rubbed off on him as we see the windmill striking. There we go, I spoke too soon. This is who he is, and I wouldn't change it. The scything attack. Omega was able to escape there before he was sliced open. So no blood yet, at least. Stay tuned. Eye rake. And if you're Kenny, low blow again. If you're Kenny, why not use some underhanded tactics as well? Because you know it's coming from Shota. Fair is fair. You wouldn't want to leave any tricks in the bag on purpose and then end up being defeated. You don't want to walk around with that regret. Unless you're determined to win honorably, of course, there's always that. And there's some biting. So, blood attack number 2. It draws blood this time. Omega has been split open.
Can't escape.
He lets Shota know that there's no escape, however. He can't escape. Follows it up with a moonsault. We're in the ropes, and they're rolling around in blood right now.
Can't escape.
You definitely cannot escape. Running clothesline. So now that Omega's been sliced open, he's coming out with some of the more trademark moves that he's known for. There's a running knee. 2.9 again. We hit the 10-minute mark. There's that double arm pile driver again. Moonsault. This was the finish from the previous encounter. And pretty much the same result as last time, right? Bloodied, but comes on like gangbusters after that, does Omega, to get the finish. So feel like we can call an end to this rivalry now. Because, I granted Shota match 2 because he felt as though the first match wasn't indicative of how good he was. He made good on it. He did much better match 2. Match 3, similar to match 2, so he didn't trend upward, really. He just sort of stayed the course. And how many times can you run heavy versus junior and have it justified? So I think that's probably good. I think I've got... I think the point was made from this rivalry on both sides. Two strong competitors put on a pretty decent series for my money. And I think these men will go in different directions after this. We did hear from Shota that he does plan to come for Christian's junior single. So very likely that's next for him. And then Omega will follow whatever path seems appropriate to him. So that's it. The main event, 87% match evaluation, and that's the average for the event, 87, so pretty good. Great success. We get a look at the money. So as is becoming kind of standard lately, hasn't it? The revenue of $3.5 million, profit roughly $3 million, and then we're on the doorstep to being a $70 million promotion. 69, dude. One final piece of business as we conclude the episode. Had mentioned earlier that the Baron Charles would make a special announcement after the event. Frustrated over having been left off the Halloween show on grounds of having no clear-cut contender to challenge for his championship, the Baron Charles declares, "If I'm so undisputedly dramatic fight wrestling champion that none dare face me, where can I possibly go from here? Other than to challenge for the top prize of this promotion. I demand a shot at Canada's heavyweight championship." And so, Two champions who recently teamed in tag shall square off to be the man. Next episode.